Hey, I am Queen. Girl, this has got to be the most craziest stuff I done ever seen in my entire life. I got so upset. I guess for one, and don't get me wrong, I ain't got nothing against them alphabet people. But I need to know it's still some strong black heterosexual men out there. And again, this is not nothing to do against the alphabet people. Because I need to know when men start sitting around talking about other men on the internet for 3 and 4 hours. This is just so crazy to me. Like, this is the craziest stuff. And I get so sick of the hypocrisy. You got these people, they don't want to fool with these people because they rock with this person. And y'all with the main person. How dare Dom K try to talk about all the horrible things that Dana has done, and the person he rocking with now was right there with him. Like, make this stuff make sense. Like, I swear to God, they have gotten to pay him. They have had to pay him to be their PR person. And I actually like Dom K. He seemed like he was a nice kid, going to school, a young guy, but you got the wrong people in your ear. The wrong people in your ear. And then to be worried about, I mean, God, I'm just sitting there listening like, well, he only took these many people to meet her, didn't he? He only took this many people. I'm like, dude, and I like that kid. I thought he seemed like he was a nice, intelligent kid. He had his own mind. But you got a person like Pico that tries to take the time out. Or you try to take the time out and talk to these people because they don't realize this stuff gonna be on the internet forever. And they don't want to listen to you. They don't want to listen to you. And I like that little kid. And I get so sick of people always talking about, did you tell your leader that? Well, do you correct the person you follow on their behavior? Yeah. He's got too many people in his ear. Yeah, he need to get away from them. They ain't no good. Cause if they was his friend, who gonna let another man be on the internet talking about another man for 4 hours? And and that's why I'm like, do you sit back and go back and listen to how you talking? But they don't care. Like I say, these people, ooh, excuse me, I got it. This weather, this weather has changed. This weather has changed. And so I done had, and then what is, then it's another thing that kills me. What are they saying, leader? Ain't nobody my leader but Jesus Christ through his Father God. So when people always talking about who's your leader, but he knows so much about the history, but you don't know, like all of this other stuff being investigated. So you got the wrong people. Poor fella. Yeah. Poor fella. I feel sorry for him. Uh yeah. I feel sorry that he been them people done got in his head. Uh Cause Dom K, I've been on this thing since the beginning. But they ain't telling, people don't tell the full story. People don't tell why people snap or why they not talking to people or what they did. So to sit up and talk about Dana and you not talking about the other stuff that the person you following, you just sound so stupid. So stupid. Like, it's okay, but the person you following right now done did the same shit. The same shit. And that's why I say if anybody cares about him, yeah. Oh yeah, he quick to tell somebody that they wasn't there from the beginning. You wasn't there from the beginning. And then you going around talking about how many people he took to him. Shit, that's why I say if anybody cared about him, they wouldn't let him be on the internet talking all of that crazy stuff. And I like that kid until today. I mean, I still like him. But he didn't have the wrong people in his ear. The wrong people. Because people would be telling him, dude, get off the internet. You might not never get an apology. Like, you think everybody just did something wrong to somebody then apologize? No, no, no. And he's saying he won't stop until he gets an apology. Hey, 312.
What's going on? What is you doing? What did you want to whooping? What is you doing?
Girl, I tried. I really tried. I
Girl,
really tried.
what happened?
I
What
really
did you
tried. I really tried. I tried to talk to that poor little fella. I tried. I really tried.
Miss Darlene?
I really tried. I tried. Uh-uh. I tried. Give me credit. I tried.
Miss
I
Darlene?
tried my best.
Miss
I
Darlene?
was being entertained. No, I was being entertained.
Miss
I
Darlene, you
was
got to learn to
laughing.
let people figure it out and stop taking it in. You have to learn to let
But
people
I'm
figure it
saying
out.
this is conversation piece
I
because I
understand that,
to
but if you
find out. No, no, no. Conversation. I want to know right now is is how come as elders we don't have people telling people. First of all, you cannot make people be who you want them to be.
no ma'am.
Second of all, you might not never get an apology from somebody. So what you gonna do? Are you gonna be on the internet every day talking about what another man done did?
Okay, Miss
Like,
Darlene.
are people teaching people real life skills out here?
Ooh, excuse me, Miss Darlene. Can I say something? Because I barely could talk and you barely could hear me. I just want to say this. All while the rupture is going on and it looks like it's being ignored, which most of the time it does get ignored, especially when there's conversations taking place with the topic of what everybody's here. But the minute that a person reacts, then it becomes all over the place because the reaction is out of control. Miss Darlene, you don't watch everything. I know everybody don't watch everything, but it's hard to get people to understand where you
Let
coming
me tell
from.
you something.
No, no, let me finish. It's
Okay,
hard to get
finish.
people to understand where you're coming from. It's really hard when they only watch and only focus on who they watch. It's multiple channels out here that has been built off of just this, and they continue to go on. Some people don't watch them, some people do. So it leaves some people out of the loop on what's really going on and to analyze it and to figure it out, which way it's actually coming from and where it's corrupted at. It's hard for them to see that because if it's one after the other, when it's all coming from the same individuals, they sit up all night and corrupt all this mess on different pages and under different names and all this stuff. And then when the person like me and other people react, it's time for court.
Get
It's
that.
time
I
for
get that.
it's time for
But you,
counseling. It's time for court. It's time for can we just leave this where it's at? Why come those same questions and
why don't they
gestures
just get off
and
the internet?
okay, but why comes in when the reaction comes? You see, every action don't deserve a reaction, and every action that's taking place is unnoticed because the person that they're targeting is not reacting. It goes on for a long period of time before the person that's being targeted even react. People don't
Well,
even
I
know it.
went 2 years before I finally said anything. But
Okay,
this ain't
that's
what
because
the
you finally got
conversation
a
is
chance to
about.
notice it. That's because
The
you paid attention.
conversation is
Miss Darlene,
the
one way don't
conversation
make it
is
the best way.
if somebody is your friend or somebody you rocking with, I'm not gonna let them be on no damn YouTube 4 hours talking every day about a man. Don't people, you keep saying you want an apology from somebody. Well, the real world is you might not never get an apology. Now what you gonna do? Has anybody taught people real life skills? You might never get an apology.
I don't want
People
no.
don't apologize. People will not talk to you, so they won't have to apologize. People will get mad at you for something they did wrong. These are life skills. Ain't people that sat down and told people this? I mean, like, aren't people around people that saying that you're hearing these type of conversations?
Miss Darlene,
Like,
Miss Darlene, when you didn't know, and the only thing you knew was what you knew, it took you a while before you understood it, right? You didn't know
no,
it.
it was never nothing for me to understand because the
Miss
minute I
Darlene,
found
no,
out
because
what people was about,
when I tried to explain to you what I was going through, you defended it until you synced it for yourself. Is what I'm saying.
well,
When you
it,
don't know,
but
you don't know. You can't blame
right,
nobody for something that they don't know.
but my thing of it is that if ain't nobody gonna talk to me doing the good and bad, I don't want to hear the bad.
Okay, well, that don't you. I'm talking to you, and I talk to you.
Yeah,
And then when I was
yeah.
telling you, you was not trying to hear me because that's not what you was seeing. But when you step back and you visualize on what I'm talking about, you had an opportunity to see it. So that made you clearly understand where I was coming from
Right.
instead of listening to
But
a one-sided ass
but
story.
I didn't dismiss you is what I'm saying. I
No,
didn't dismiss you.
no.
I listened to everything you told me is what I'm saying. You coming in on the conversation thinking this is an attack conversation. This is a conversation where sometimes people can be giving you helpful advice and you don't even want to listen to people.
But you just
People
said
not
it out your
listening.
own mouth that you can't make people be who you want them to be. You just said it.
No. And if
Why you
they
make
don't
yourself get
listen,
upset about somebody that don't want to accept what you have for them? Maybe that's a problem of they maybe that's
then check
within
this
them.
out. And if they don't want to listen,
Why
I
you
ain't
mad?
gonna talk no more.
But why
And
you
I'm gonna
mad?
sit back and look
Right,
at you.
right.
And that's why I say, uh-uh, I never try to tell him nothing again. The point I'm making is, in real life, people, in real life, yeah, hey, Sonny B, the real life is, we talking about real life stuff. You might not never get the apology. You can go be in that person's face every day. You can get on the internet. You can try to run into them in the club. Some people ain't gonna apologize. Hey, Ricky C, let me put the link So you want to come up. Some people ain't going to apologize. So if you looking for an apology for somebody to say until they apologize, I'm not going to stop. Like, no. The real world is you might never get that apology. So as a man, every day coming on YouTube or going on a podcast, getting on the radio, getting on the phone, gossiping about them and the situation, when are you going to be the better person? Because you might not get that apology. So you're going to live your whole life waiting on an apology for somebody? No. The real world is you might not never get that apology. And I'm not going to let nobody sit up and talk to me for 4 hours saying they ain't going to stop until they get an apology. No. And when I'm starting to lose respect in people because getting on YouTube, a podcast, the radio, or anybody talking about a man saying you're not gonna stop. Every day you gonna let them talk about somebody, and they talk about they ain't gonna stop until they get an apology. That's some bitch ass shit. Nigga, you might not never get an apology. I'm not gonna listen to nobody every day. Now come on now. Let's keep this shit real.
I don't want no motherfucking apology. You can't come back from nothing with me.
Well,
I'm talking about myself. I'm talking about me.
What?
I'm talking about that. I'm talking about me. I don't go out. I don't do this stuff every day.
But
though.
what I'm saying is, then the person can apologize.
Gonna get off in a few minutes.
And then the next week or so. So, you know, what happened to the real world telling people like it is? What, you're not gonna get no apology. I mean, you know, when I sat back and listening to just other people, you want an apology. Man, you know how many people should apologize to me? I ain't never got that apology. But you know what? I don't fuck with them neither. In the real world, you might not never get an apology. And if anybody cared about anybody, they're going to tell you, look, get over it, move around. Somebody should apologize to me from 20 years ago.
When I asked you to get over it and move around, you just went relapsed right back to it. So, I mean, this is the same way you preach to the choir. Can you sing in the stand?
No.
I'm just
saying. We was talking about one person.
No, but I'm asking a question. Can it happen the same way? Can we work on that the same way? Because the same way we can tell somebody something.
I'm not working on shit else.
I'm not talking about working on it with nobody. I'm not talking about working on it with nobody. I didn't ask you to be buddy with nobody. I said, why do anybody else got to be relevant in your vocabulary?
No.
That's what I said.
No. I'll never fool with them again.
I didn't ask you to fool with them. I said, why do they got to be relevant in your vocabulary?
They are irrelevant now because I want to talk about real life issues from this situation in real life.
Right. Okay. See, that's
you
what you're doing.
You might never get an apology from somebody.
Right. So it's the same way, Miss Darlene. It's the same way. You want somebody to
I
listen
can
to
take
you.
stuff that happens and talk about them
I
at
never
my
said you can't.
commentary, at
That's
my
commentary,
discretion.
but you
You might
targeting the
not get
conversation
an
though.
apology in real life. No, no. In real life,
People have to figure it out. They
and
have to figure
somebody
it out.
needs to be telling them that as well.
You can't tell
What
no
kind of
grown
life
person nothing.
skill are people teaching their are people teaching people? Like, and you way off. Now I'm talking about real life stuff. If somebody is constantly, and they're saying, I won't stop until they apologize. Well, when is it going to become a fact when somebody have enough guts to say, well, they not going to apologize?
And I'm not way off for nothing. I heard exactly what you said, and I understand it very clearly. Ain't nothing wrong with my comprehension. Not none.
Yeah.
I heard you was talking logic and I'm
So,
speaking logic. But the same way we
so
can speak
I'm
it
just
is the
trying
same
to
way we need
say,
to walk in it. That's my example
right.
of it.
So what I'm saying is, we can't, okay, you can come to me every day and talk to me about the same thing every single day. Now, are you going to continue to sit up and just let me, because I want a person to apologize to me? Like it won't stop? When are you, as a friend, as a sister or mother, going to say, you know what? You better let it go because it might not happen. I mean, that's unrealistic thinking. If you think everybody's going to apologize to you, this is what I'm talking about. Real
And it's
life
the same
issues
thing.
here.
Right. Real life shit to deal with in real life.
Everybody
Right.
does not apologize.
Everybody don't think the way you think, and everybody don't
And
move the way you move.
no, I'm not talking about thinking the way I think.
Everybody don't apologize.
Real life,
Everybody not.
everybody don't
No,
apologize.
they don't.
And
Okay,
if
get
you
over
gonna
it. Let it
sit up,
go.
let it go. Right. That ain't the way I think. That's the way hell life is. Everybody is not going to apologize.
Yeah, but
So
that's
to have
understood.
that type of thinking, you're supposed to tell the person, well, son, in life, people gonna do you wrong.
Okay, but
And you might not never get no apology.
Miss
As a
Darlene,
sister,
at this particular time and moment, in the heat of the moment, any answer is liable to come out. That don't mean this man gonna keep on every day. He don't even have a channel, Miss Darlene, to be opening up.
I'm who
I'm just
you
saying.
don't
Okay,
I am
okay,
talking about real life issues.
okay. But
People,
you
everybody
keep
do
saying you're
not
talking about real life
apologize.
issues, but you saying somebody
People
should have
do
told
not
him. Who is him?
apologize.
Who is him? You going all around the conversations, Miss
People
Darlene.
do not apologize. If
No,
you
they
have
don't.
a family member that is on a podcast, on YouTube, on the radio, on Facebook, every day making statements, thinking somebody's going to apologize, please find it in your heart to teach them life skills that everybody is not going to apologize. They're not. Please start telling people
Some
that
people
you
don't
know.
know how. Some people don't know how.
Yeah. But in life, and I'm a life coach, it's a whole lot of things that we want from people that we're never going to get.
And you have to
That
understand,
might be
because
apology.
when you give advice, everybody receptive of things does not always amount up to what it's
And
supposed to
that
be.
don't mean that they gonna take it. But
I
I
just,
know
Miss
I
Darlene, I
got
just
at
said it.
least
Everybody don't receive
70%
things.
of the world that's normal and not 90% of the world that's crazy.
Okay, Miss Darlene, everybody don't receive things the way you want them to.
First, oh, 312,
They don't receive
please,
them, and you can't blame them for that. That's not your fault.
please,
You're not even
please.
understanding what I'm saying.
I'm
People are not
talking
receptive
about
of what you're
life
saying.
skill. I'm taking a situation from today
And I'm saying,
and
logically
I'm
speaking, people,
communicating
and
the
I'm
best
saying,
I can.
okay, and I'm explaining to you that
I don't
everybody
want your
is not.
explanation right now.
I ain't asked you for
I'm
what you wanted.
explaining.
We speaking logic, and that's what I'm speaking on. I didn't ask
No,
you what you
there's no
wanted.
logic.
Oh, that
There's
is
no
logic.
logic.
Everybody don't receive it the way you want them to. They don't.
No, there's no logic when somebody does not understand that you might not never get an apology. I'm telling people to tell family, friends, sisters, you might not never get an apology.
And I'm telling you that you might not never get it, and some that get it might not know how to receive it. That's what I'm telling you. In life, it goes like that. But people have to figure it out.
But please don't vent if you think that's going to make somebody apologize to you. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. If anything, it's going to make the other person maybe matter, or you giving that other person attention. You being a nice guy, you don't win in this world. No. And so you being a nice person,
Nope,
you
it don't
waiting
pay.
on the apology because that's how you've been raised to be. It might not happen. It might not happen. So be prepared for that. He might have been raised where until he apologizes, where the other person might not be. Don't let that person have that much control where every day or every other day, do not give anybody that much power over you where you have been raised because you want them to apologize because it might not happen. Real life situations, you might
Real
not
life.
get the
Yeah.
apology. And if you do get the apology, you might not even want to take it.
And
But
again,
just to
and it's
say,
just what I said.
but
Goes back
going
to
back
what
to
I said.
step one, don't say that you're not going to stop doing anything until somebody apologizes to you because you might not never get an apology.
In life, people don't have to do what other people choose them to do. People have
And
to do.
that's what I'm and right. And if you're sitting around thinking somebody going to apologize because that's what you want them to do, and you will stop talking about it, it's not gonna happen. You can't make nobody apologize to you. That's the real world that we live in.
It's a whole lot of real world we living in. A whole lot.
Yeah. But to think that they're gonna apologize to you,
It's more to the
no.
world than an apology, baby. Apology
Yeah.
go a long ways, but it's more to the world than just apology. People have a problem of receiving things. People have a problem of receiving it. The receptance of it is all off balance. People
Yeah.
can tell you,
But but
people in life can tell
but to
you, but
say,
you can't receive it though. People have a problem with constructive criticism. People have a
yeah,
problem of receiving things
and with
as it comes
people,
to them.
and I'm
People,
just taking this as a lesson
I
that
know.
I learned today is if we are sitting around waiting for an apology, be prepared that you might not get it. Be prepared. Go to plan B. You're not going to get this apology. So now what are you gonna do?
Talk about him every day.
See, now this the third scene. So because they don't apologize, then you gonna talk about them every day, wanting that apology. What kind of stuff is this? Let me look out my window. I'm in the damn twilight zone. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Miss Angie. No, I'm not talking about your show. I'm just saying he wants an apology. He
No,
might not
you said
never
you
get an
speaking logic. You
apology.
said you weren't talking about it.
Yeah, yeah. He can't. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, he might not never get an apology. And I like that young kid. Cause it seemed like he was raised with some moral. But he's not gonna get the apology. And he seemed like such a smart kid.
Well, Miss Darlene, let me say this. I don't think Don ever won an apology. I think he gave that logic answer out of respect because the question was asked. Okay? I don't think he cares for an apology. No, I don't think that. Life goes on. Don K, do not look for an apology, but to give a respectful answer to whereas unless he apologizes, then I'll keep going. But that's only at the heat of the moment. Don ain't thinking about this dude every day. But the things that he said out of his mouth, he's capable of thinking about it. He keeping it in mind. He cautious about it. But I think he gave us respectful answer because the question was asked.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my
Hey,
gesture now. I
Spidey,
could be wrong.
I
That's
got
just
my
my gesture.
friend DJ Spider Man on the phone. And DJ Spider Man, what I wanted to talk about is what do you do when a person is waiting on an apology and they won't, you know, they've had some upbringings because it's a kid that I mean I really like and and um and I think he's a good kid, but he's waiting on an apology.
Miss
And
Darlene, he's a grown, he's an adult. He's a young adult. He's not a kid. He's a young
still,
adult.
it don't matter if he is a young adult. But some people want an apology. What do you tell those people?
Well, for one, you got to remember everybody's not the same when they come to understanding the
Oh,
basics.
let me go because he's just saying the same thing I said.
Okay.
If people don't understand the basics, if you got an issue with somebody, and if you holding on and harboring those feelings, waiting for an apology, you like you said, you might not never get an apology. You might not never get it. So why stress yourself? Because you're causing yourself harm when you stressing over somebody else's stuff.
Yeah, and then this kid, I really like him. I mean I really think he's a smart kid. But you want an apology. Everybody don't apologize.
Exactly. Everybody wasn't raised with good values and morals and standards, and you know how they go.
Yeah, yeah. But he wants an apology. And I understand he might not get it. But we got a lady on here, our channel by Angie. And so people what they do is they go to her channel and she let them vent. Well, I'm looking at this and this just my intake. I'm gonna grab my kid and say, look, boy, I don't know. It's just in life, we can't get what we want. What are we gonna do then? Yeah.
But yeah, just like somebody said, James said, 99% apologies is not real anyway. So I
Man,
mean,
I'll never talk. I mean, I felt so bad. Who is Service Pete?
yeah, but
Hello?
yeah, but you
Hello?
Hey, hey,
Uh,
could you hear me?
yeah?
Hey, Miss April. I was just um I was just listening to your broadcast, and I understand exactly what you're saying. I understand about you talking about people may not never get an apology. But what I had to say was I have a son that's Dom K age, and I understand all that doxing that they doing. But my question was, do whoever he live with, do she understand that her information has been doxed? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm not even trying to get into that. What I'm talking about in life, and this life, this thing we call life, like you're not gonna get what you want from other
Right,
people. That's all I'm
right.
talking about. I'm not talking about the people who rock with what they done did. You not gonna get what you want from people. Now I'll never talk about this boy again. When I did wrong and I felt so bad I had tears in my eyes. Um,
Yeah.
but you just not gonna get what you want from people. And he just seems like such a beautiful kid. And you want an apology and you might not never get that. You just ain't
Like
gonna.
I Yeah, like 312 said, I don't think he really want an apology. What I think is that was just the answer he gave so he can continue. You know what I'm saying? Because if he doxed your family and you really you know, you my here's my thing. Take it to the
Who
police.
is Service P? What's your name?
I
This is my this is my DJ friend Spidey. He's on the
Hey
panel,
Spidey,
and
how
we
you
talk
doing?
about
I watch
life issues
um Yeah, Miss
and the
April,
life issue. The
I'm
life
always
thing that
watching
I
your
want to
channel.
talk about is if we want an apology, we might not never get it.
I'm sure he understand that, Miss April. I'm sure he understand that he will never get an apology from Dana. I'm sure he understand that. And my thing is, I think it's just a reason to just keep the mess going. Because at some point, like when do it stop? Like you don't, like you said, you don't know these people, and somebody is really gonna get hurt over YouTube. Everybody not playing, you know. So yeah, it's really sad. It's a sad situation. But I'm sure
Yeah.
Dom K is a really intelligent young man. He understands. Even Pico Beans was trying to reason with him, and Miss Walker was trying to reason with him. He understand that he might. So here's what they say that Dinah is a liar. So do you really think that
You
Dinah
know
is
what?
going?
And you know what? And we all know liars.
Right,
We
we
all know
all lie.
people that lie. We all know people that lie, steal, cheat,
Right,
do anything. When
we
the
all
I mean,
do it.
right, but for for it's just I'm just using this experience to talk about you might not never get an apology from
yep,
people.
Exactly.
might not never.
Ex- exactly.
But see, here's the thing too. You got to remember this too. Some people keep that, like she just said. Some people keep that drama going in order to keep things relevant, keep things
Yeah.
in the right now.
Hmm.
The apology might not even be heartfelt on his end, but to keep things, people coming back,
Going.
people keeping
Hmm.
in tune, people keeping, you know, that's how things work in this day and world that we're in now. people keep up drama, keep up negativity in order to have people tune in, check in.
Right.
I got to check
Oh,
this out. I got to see what's going on. You know, it's like a soap opera.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
people keep stuff going just because, and that's it. Just because
Hmm.
there's
I
no no
remember
no no.
my son came over to my house a few months ago, all upset about something. I told him this is the real world. The real world. You can't put expectations into people. You can't. You just can't. People gonna let you down. They're
Right.
gonna let you
Every
down
day, all day long.
every day, all day. And I just be like, am I in the real world? Because this some of this stuff is just crazy. Are these people normal? But you, and no, I know people not gonna listen to me. They not gonna. I mean, I had things happen to me. I didn't go after everybody, but to say you want an apology, I just wanted to say those are things we might not get. Yeah, y'all keep talking for a minute. I gotta mute my mic.
Right. You know how many people that went to their grave without an apology? So, apology, like she said, you might not never get an apology.
Where April go? But yeah, there's something that we have to understand. Everybody don't have a understanding on the basics of life. Some people take things to the extreme. Some people believe the unbelievable and they turn into their reality. So you can't make a person like an individual. You can't make a person dislike an individual. It's up to their own whatever whatever they got going on. But to keep stuff going, some people thrive off of that. Some people live off of negativity. That's what makes them feel good. And it's sad, but this is what happens. It's crazy.
Yeah, we all going to Angie's house. Angie and Miss Walker, we all going to her house, and she gonna have a boxing ring, and all these people that don't like each other, they gonna box it out and stuff, and, and we gonna see. I mean, but yeah, I like this little kid. I think he's a young kid, and I really want to believe in my heart that he wants an apology because you can tell, you can, you can tell, like maybe that's what was embedded in him, was for people to apologize. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I used to didn't apologize to people, and the older I got, came some wisdom, and I felt awful, awful. But also, I'm the type of person you sitting here, and this is with anybody. We control our destiny. We control how we gonna live. And like, wow. Well, one thing I do know in life, that you might not never get an apology from somebody that did you wrong. You can, and like she said, some people go to their graves without
Exactly.
apologizing. So
Exactly.
if you want an apology, don't I don't know. I guess for me, like I just I'm not gonna I if my son was somewhere on a radio show, a podcast, or YouTube hollering he want an apology from somebody, I'm going to go find his butt and probably try to pistol whip his ass. Cause I'm gonna tell him, now I know I done taught you better than this. Everybody ain't gonna apologize. What are people teaching people these days?
You said the key word teaching. There's no teaching going on. Ain't no teacher being taught. The teacher is being taught when you teach your offspring at home, when you start up under your roof. Now, here's the thing: when they get old enough to make their own decision, and they choose not to follow what you taught them, hey, you did your job. You can't make a person fall up under certain standards and values and things. That's on them. If they don't have the conscience enough to follow what mama taught them, then hey, they their own person. You're not responsible no more. Hey, Rockin', how you doing? But yeah, you're not responsible. Only thing you can do is do the best you can and give your offspring the best values, the best standards, and try to guide them with some type of dignity and respect and respecting others, respect your elders. But if they don't adhere to that, then you shouldn't feel bad about nothing because you did what a parent is supposed to do.
Yeah, yeah. And like I say, this little kid, I really, I think he's a beautiful, smart, intelligent kid. Yeah, but you might not get an apology, and that's all. I'm just thinking. So, what are things that you tell people? Like you might not get an apology. So, what are you gonna do?
Well,
What are
see,
you gonna do?
well, see, he already might not. He already might know that he's not going to receive an apology. But here's my thing, and tell me if I'm wrong. If somebody does something to you, family, friend, whoever that does something to you, to me, this is me. I might be wrong on this, but you should get that apology immediately, whatever took place. If it takes 2 days, 3 days, a year, 2 years, 5 years, you're not gonna get no apology. Simple as that. And if it does, you get the apology because they feeling guilty about their part of it. But you should receive an apology like right away. That lessens the sting. But when it goes on for days, months, years, you really don't want to hear no apology from nobody. Either you going on about your business, going on about your life, not tripping off of it no more, But if you tripping off of it, you realize that life goes on. So that apology ain't gonna make you or break you, but it
Right.
still
That's
bother
so
you.
yeah, that's so true because I had a friend that she was a good friend of mine, probably a 20-year friend. And she did something to me that really broke my heart. And she ended up passing away. And I never got that apology, but I wasn't looking for an apology because, like you say, some people just not gonna apologize. But even when she passed away, um, I still went to the funeral home and did her hair. You know what I'm saying? So you might never get an apology, but that don't mean that you have to hold a grudge. You have to
Exactly.
be
Exactly.
um you have to forgive because forgiveness isn't for that person. It's for you. So you won't hold that
Exactly.
on your heart.
And I think that's what a
So,
lot of people don't understand. When you go into the forgiving mode, that's for you, not for the other person.
right,
That's for you.
right,
But we get the misconception that, oh, that person got to apologize to me.
right.
Oh no. You are the one.
Arrow.
You deal with that guilt on your own. You can't deal with their
Exactly.
guilt because they got their guilt. But
And they
that
have to
apology
deal
is for
with
you.
that, right?
Exactly.
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 So,
Hey B. But
And,
yeah,
and
it's crazy.
some people, they will avoid talking to you because they know that they done did something wrong to you.
Well, they did you a
Or,
favor when they do that.
well, yeah, because they want to before they apologize to you, but,
Yep.
but, they won't talk to you before they apologize.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, my apology uh, to him was very sincere. Cause about time I wouldn't have got a pizza, took a bite, and I was steady hearing him talk, and I'm just like, oh my God. And yeah, I don't know. All I know is in life we might not get an apology. So where do we go from here?
Keep moving
keep
forward. Keep
moving,
living.
right? You
Keep
got to
living.
keep going. You can't stop your life because you waiting on an apology from someone.
But see,
Life
here's the
goes
thing.
on.
Right, here's the thing. If you individually waiting on a apology from somebody, you giving them the stronghold
The
over you.
power.
You giving them the
Yep,
power.
yep,
Forget that. We need
yep.
our own power. We look at being people of color. We have already got so many issues to deal with. We don't need another one. So the
Right.
best thing to do is to keep moving, keep striving to be the best person that you can be. Don't trip off the next person. Let them be who they're gonna be. If they're gonna be an evil so and so, whatever, let them do that. I hope they make the best out of it. But they got to remember one day they got to meet their maker.
Yes.
No matter if you accept their apology or not. And if they did you wrong, they have to atone for the things that they've done.
That's right.
So forget all the hoopla and well, I ain't gonna forget this person. He stepped on my foot when I was 3 years old. Oh, but man, look, forget all that, man. Let that stuff go. Let it
And then
go.
when you hold on to when you waiting on an apology, you holding on to resentment and you angry all the time and
And see
right, like
people
it takes power away, like you giving that person
and see
power over you.
this what people don't understand. This is what people really don't understand. When you hold on to that negative energy, no matter it could be something real minor.
Mm,
I mean, something very minor. You hold on to that negative energy. Don't you know you're shortening your lifespan when you
Yes.
do that.
Mhm.
You're
Mhm.
causing your body to break down. It could be something real minor.
Yeah.
You might think about it every so often or whatever, but that's that negativity that's in your spirit causes your body to break down.
Mhm.
Let that crap go. Whatever it is, let it go. You are better
So
than
true.
that. And
I
people wonder,
like what Rockin' with the Truth said. She says nobody on these YouTube streets owes anybody anything. Stop looking for validation from strangers.
Right.
Yeah,
Because we don't even know these people.
girl,
Oh
I
my
don't know what
goodness.
these people doing in their houses at night. Hell, they could be worshiping the devil.
and very well could be now. Very well could be. So, but the thing of it is, you give them power when you allow them to have something over you. You give them the
Yeah.
power. You are the power. The power that you possess within you is so great that no man really knows the potential that we possess. But
Right.
hold on to little stuff like that, waiting for apologies from something or whatever the case is, you'll never reach your potential.
And that's why we have to learn to forgive because you might not get that apology. Just forgive the person for what they done to you and move on with your life. That's it.
Exactly.
But a
Exactly.
lot of people don't want to forgive.
Nope,
So,
they don't.
hey,
Yeah,
But what can you do?
yeah.
What can you do? But see, here's again. You have to learn how to teach yourself how to forgive.
that's right.
You can go to all the shrinks, the therapist or whatever the case is. They can tell you this, they can tell you that, do this exercise, do that. But if you don't put action into what you're doing, you're just spinning your wheels.
Well, I know I had my first experience is when I was on this music site, and I for one, I take my friendship. If I say we friends. If I'm calling you my sis, we sis. And I had so much foul stuff done, betrayal and different things. And I just leave the people alone.
Yeah,
But you
just
don't
walk
hear me
away.
now. I'm not hollering, hey, my sis, hey, that, because, like I said, we were all on the music site, all, all thinking everybody was friends. But these people, they wasn't my friends. I ain't mad at them. I just don't fool with them because I know
Mhm.
what you about. You know,
Mhm.
I forgave myself for thinking total strangers gave a damn about me.
Mm.
Total strangers. And I think that's what's happened on these YouTube where some of these people got with these different people and everybody thought these people really gave a damn about each other and people
Right.
had their own motives.
Exactly.
Yep,
And I
majority of
can
people
say,
have their own motive about whatever they can get out of whatever, however they got their own motive behind it. But here's the
Mhm.
thing: God gave you common sense to know who to deal with, who not to deal with. But here's the thing: if you deal with that person anyway, and you already had a sense or instinct about that person, and you dealt with them anyway, who's to blame?
Right. Have to blame yourself.
So it all comes back down to self. No matter how it goes, it comes back down to self. Myself allowed this person in my space when I know this person wasn't no good, but you did it anyway. And your reason for that being is, well, I saw something different in this person. I saw the good in them, but you might be one of a handful of people that saw the good in this person, and everybody else around saw nothing but bad.
Yeah.
So you gotta look at it like this. And people don't look at this like this. Every day is a life lesson. Either you learn or you don't. You're in class every single day. When you get up out that bed, your class day starts.
Hmm.
You're gonna run into negativity, you're gonna run into positivity. It depends on how you react when you run
Right.
across these
Deal
things.
with it. Hmm.
Every day is a life lesson for us. And who's to say that every day our life lessons is not geared towards, okay, you find the best way to deal with these things, and I will give you the pot of gold. But you got to show me something. So that's why we going through class every single day. And those negative people that come into your life, that's part of your test.
Right.
That's part of your test. You're in school every day. No matter how old you is, you are in school, you are in class. How you represent the person that you is says something else different as well. If you're the person
Hmm.
saying, "Well, I'm a holy person and I do this and I do that," but your actions show something different, hmm. Now you got to question yourself again. Everything comes back around to self because your actions could mean that somebody that's watching you, oh, this person said they was religious and they doing this, they out drinking, they going to the clubs. I don't want to be part of that. So now, as the Bible say, you got blood on your hands
Hmm.
because you led a person down the wrong path. Either you're gonna be religious or you ain't. There's no in between.
Right.
Either you're gonna be to follow the scriptures or you ain't. Be righteous
Hmm.
in what you do, and you gonna and you gonna have people that gonna push your buttons. You gonna have negativity come to you when you try to do right. You or negativity is gonna come your way. It's gonna come to you, and it be some of the same people that you sat in the pews with that's going to challenge you.
That's right.
But you got to remember, every day you are in class, no matter if
It's a
you are in
test.
a church or if you at home, you are in class. And your very actions could cause somebody to go astray. Your very actions can cause somebody to be the next Einstein. Your actions can cause somebody to be the next Nicholas Tesla. Hmm. So
Hmm.
now, again, you ask a question. So every day we are very important, no matter if it's negativity that comes to us or positivity. We are important. Every person is important, and it makes a difference.
I know I got me a little conscience. I when you feel bad if you know say the wrong things or call people, you know, uh, and like I say, I don't know what to say about these ADHD crack crack riddling kids that's coming up. You can't tell them nothing. You can't tell them nothing. So, oh, yeah,
And
you can't.
like I said, you got to look at the grand plan on how and why things are the way that they are. You got a group of people that had it in mind for the chosen people of the Most High not to prosper. You got to keep that in mind. You cannot overrule that. You cannot overlook that. You got evil intent, that the evilness filters down to the people that the Most High favored.
Mhm.
You cannot overlook that. It's evident today. Look at all the things that's going on in the world and the negativity that goes on against people of color. No justice, people getting accused of different things, people being locked up for life sentences. Now, if the counterpart of a white person did it, slap on the wrist. Where is justice? Ain't no justice. But it's geared to go against people of color. You can't overlook that.
And then this another question I wanted to ask everybody. You know, like if I'm talking to somebody and we could be talking about one subject, and then you can make comparisons to other races. Well, we not talking about them. We talking about the other person. But look at some of the comparisons that they can show you for injustices. And then people want to say, well, we not talking about that person. We talking about this person. Some people can't even see the injustices that's going on because they so focused on another person or wanting to see them pay for the crime. And don't get me wrong, everybody should pay for their crimes. But they don't even want to see the injustices.
They
What
see it.
kind of people are those?
They see it. You can't tell me, for example, and like I said, don't get me wrong, I'm not speaking out against any other race or whatever the case is. Just like Caucasian people, for them to say, well, we didn't know that this was going on against black and brown people, you a lie. And I'll reiterate that you are a lie. It's prevalent in your society. You're taught to be a certain way against black and brown people. You're taught to hate black and brown people. And you don't even know why you hate black and brown people. It's because you were taught. Come on now.
Mhm.
But you don't know that these things go on. If you turn on the news every day, you'll see the injustices that go on. If you go to urban neighborhoods, you see the injustices going on. So for them to say that they didn't know this stuff was going on, they are lying. With a big L, they're lying.
Mhm.
They are lying. Now, here's the thing. You can be the most richest person, Caucasian person on the planet. You can't tell me that that person ain't heard about the injustices that go on against black and brown people. I'm not buying it. First and
Mhm.
foremost, they got friends that talk that racial stuff. They sit there and laugh and giggle and ha 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 and he. You can't tell me that you didn't know that this stuff didn't exist. This stuff just ain't started yesterday. So that's what they were trying to use a couple years ago. But we didn't know this stuff was existing. That's why we're in the fight to help black and brown people. No, it's because that it came out to the forefront and that you saw the injustices done right in front of your face on TV in your living room, and you're looking at this stuff like George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, just to name a few. And now you saw the injustice being done, and now you want to get on the bandwagon. This stuff been happening for thousands of years. Why now? I should ask the question. Why now you want to join the fight now? You got to ask that question. Now, don't get me wrong, this generation is different than the past generation. This generation might not feel that racial divide or that separation that they parents or ancestors felt. They might genuinely feel that this is wrong. We dealing with a different time, different group of people. They might actually honestly feel the empathy that goes on. But I put it this way: it's better late than never. Now, through history, you had people that was joining the fight, like John Brown. If you don't know who John Brown is, you go back to the Civil War times when he was helping Harriet Tubman free the slaves. He was part of that. Him and his family thought it was wrong to treat people of color like animals. And didn't you know that they would not dedicate a holiday to that man because he was helping black people?
Mm-hmm.
They would not give him a holiday. They would not give him no recognition because he was helping
Yeah,
black people. What's wrong with that picture? Now, if you want to protest about something, protest about that.
yeah.
Protest about the injustices that go on. Protest about this that kid Kyle Rittenhouse. You saw him murder two people in Wisconsin, but they strike the jury, and they trying to get the jury of his peers. They probably gonna let that boy get off. And the three men that killed Armand Arbery, what
Mm-hmm.
did they do? You supposed to be judged by your peers. Only one black
They
person on the
haven't
jury.
read the verdict yet, have they?
That case was already decided. They're
I
gonna try to
know
get
they
them
only
men
put
off.
one black on the jury.
And see, they protest about the wrong stuff. They're protesting about the wrong stuff. Where is the outrage? Don't you supposed to be judged by your peers? One black juror in the Arbery case. That should be a miscarriage of justice right there. Where is the outcry for that? Make that judge recuse himself, whatever the case is. But you want you don't protest about the right stuff. Look at all the strife that black people and brown people have suffered over the years. When you do protest, you don't demand nothing. You don't ask for nothing. But y'all ain't heard me though. You don't ask for nothing. Make Congress do their damn job. Oh, wait a minute. They can't do their job if they're in the pockets of these big companies and stuff. Hmm. They can't regulate laws and things to say that it's wrong to take a life, no matter if it's black, white, brown, purple. Hmm. But it's valued that a white life is different than a black and brown life. A white life is valued more, worth more. Every life is precious. Every life is precious. And if you want to get down to the bare roots of it, and if you want to get down to the bare bottom of it, if you go back into your ancestry, go back 2 generations, you're gonna find some white lineage there, and you're gonna find some black lineage there. What's wrong with that picture? Hmm. But there is prejudice, especially in this United States of whatever you want to call it. But there's prejudice that shouldn't even exist. There's separation that shouldn't even exist. There's racism that shouldn't even exist. For what? What are you all so afraid of? It is a fact when black people and brown people progress, achieve, the whole world benefits from it. What's wrong with this picture? What's wrong with that picture, y'all? I'm gonna say that again. When black and brown people become successful, the world benefits from black and brown people's success. Hmm. What's wrong with that picture?
Wow.
So why is it so
Yeah.
hard for them to help Miss April out? Why is it so hard for them to say, okay, Miss April, you want to start your own business? Let's help you start a business. Or whatever the case is. But that's not the case. And believe it or not, the whole issue with the race thing is very, very simple. Why so much haterism is going on is because white people are afraid that if black and brown people take charge, they're going to put them into slavery like they did our ancestors. That's what the whole issue is about. That's why they're so afraid. That's why they're trying to assassinate and do all these different things that you see on a daily basis, that you see on the news every time you turn on the news. That's why this stuff is taking place. They trying to lessen the numbers. They tell you the white people is the majority. That ain't been the truth for so long. And to be honest with you, my research led me to believe that white people have never been the majority. Hmm. And the proof of that is our ancestors were here first. How many of our ancestors was here? They don't know. So when them folks came out of the mountains, they were few. Still wouldn't outnumber our ancestors. So how can you be the majority? You can't. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But the thing of the matter, we as a people, April has said this many times over. We will never come together. We will never unite. It don't take for us to unite on a grand front. It doesn't take that. All you can do is work on your neighborhood, work on your area. Did somebody else work on their area? Did somebody else work on their area? Did somebody else work on their area? You'd be surprised how far that goes. Because you got to remember, when we have tried to unite on a grand front, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, they were assassinated. So that ain't gonna work. That's not gonna work. But if you work in your area, work on your community, start there. Then if you get a big enough collaborate together, then you can maybe talk about something bigger. But you got to start small. If you start out big, you draw too much attention to yourself. Hmm. Prime example, the Black Panthers. What was they doing that was against the United States of America? Hmm. Let's see here. They was protecting their own communities. They was protecting the old and the young. Hmm. So they was classified as domestic terrorists. They didn't make any threats against no other organization or race. They were protecting their own, according to the Second Amendment, right to bear arms, protecting their own persons, their own communities. Hmm. So how did it become a threat? I better go back and do your history and see what the real cause of the problem is. It comes down to they don't want a grand uniting of the black and brown people because of fear. And that's basically what it's about. It's about fear that what they did will come back to haunt them. But see, here's the thing. And if you really want to do your research and your history and find out what really took place, then you can even, the United States will be way further down the line. If you want to get to the root of the problem, go do your history and find out that the Arabs, the ones that you go and support their stores, brought the slavery thing about first. And they were way brutal than white people. Arabs still have African Americans in slavery right now today in 2021. They still got slavery going on of African Americans. Yep, them same Arabs that you go down to the corner store and buying gas, and you better do your research. So the U.S. will be further down the line. They wouldn't be first to go after. Do your research. Don't take my word on it. Do your research on it. Only thing the U.S. got into the slavery game later. They got into it late. They ain't the first ones, but they got into it late. Do your research. Like I said, every day is a life lesson. We learn our lessons. We should learn anyway because we are in school. It depends on if you want to learn it or not. Some of us so stuck on what's been told to us that we don't believe anything other, or we won't accept anything other than what's been told to us. This is like what April was talking about earlier about a person not accepting apologies. And then again, here's the thing too. You have to remember this. You can't accept everybody's apology because sometimes along with that apology, that negativity comes with that apology. So sometimes it's just best to just let things go because a person can speak evilness onto your spirit even when they claim to be giving you an apology. It is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. All that I can tell you, be the best person that you can be. Don't accept negativity into your spirit. Try to be positive and deal with nothing but positiveness in your life. Just remember the things that you learn today can carry you tomorrow. So you want to be the best person that you can possibly be. Do your best. No matter if you was the most righteous person on the planet, there's always going to be somebody that's going to find some negativity or some fault with you. Always going to be somebody that finds some fault in you and the things that you do they ain't going to like. But it's up to you if you want to accept that person into your spirit, into your life. Just like B said earlier, use discernment. You got the senses to know when somebody is not right for you. Your instinct will kick in and you can feel a person's vibe. Be the best you can be, y'all. Do the best you can. Don't settle for anything into your life. Don't settle for that negative spirit. Don't settle for that negative energy. Because you got to remember, you have to remember this. There's a lot of people on this planet that has so much negative energy, they thrive off negativity. They're not happy until they pass that negativity on to the next person. That makes them happy. That fulfills them. But in the same token, you know when negativity is in your spirit, you can feel it. We might ignore it, but you can feel when negativity is around. You can feel it. So don't allow that negativity into your spirit. Be the best you can, do the best you can, and live life to the fullest. Live life the best that you can live it. Try to encourage somebody. Try to encourage somebody with some positive words, positive insight, positive enlightenment. Positivity is key. When you increase your positivity, you increase your frequency. When you increase your frequency, now things will come to you. But as long as it's negative, you have nothing coming. Nothing but negativity. Be the best you can. Be the best you can. Be the best you can. If you don't know how to be a positive person, just sit back and think. Just sit back and reevaluate. Just sit back and meditate on positiveness. I'm telling you, it helps. It works. But you got to put forth that effort. You got to. All right, April, I'm gonna get out of here. I got some stuff I got to do, but I'm gonna get out of here. But do the best you can, everybody. Be the best you can. Be the best person you can, and don't settle for anything other than positiveness. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Y'all have a blessed evening.